If you're 25 or 65, you need to watch this video because the reality is simple. Most fighters and martial artists start breaking down in their 30s, not because of age itself, but because of the way they trained. Street self-defense isn't about how old you are, it's about how you prepared. Train wrong when you're young and you'll be broken when you're older, exactly at the time when you need it the most. Train right and you'll stay street lethal when you're in your 60s and way beyond. Let's check it out. This video is not just for the older guys. Younger men need to listen even closer because what I'm about to tell you isn't taught in the dojo, an MMA gym, or on TikTok. It's brutal honesty that can save your life when you're older, but only if you act now. Listen up. If you're serious about being ready for street violence throughout your entire life, understand this. Training in combat sports or martial arts will tear your body down and handicap your ability to fight later on. By the time most guys hit their 30s and 40s, the hips, knees, shoulders, backs, they're all pulverized from endless punching, kicking, throws, takedowns, and submission techniques. Those skills might work in the ring, but they wreck you in the long run. Don't take my word for it. Look at the data. Across high-level sports, fighters, boxers, and football players often hit their peak in their 20s. By their 30s, many are sidelined, injured, or retired. In the NFL, the average career lasts only a few years. In MMA and boxing, the physical toll pushes many athletes into decline by their early to mid-30s, even with access to elite coaching, recovery protocols, and medical care every day. And let me be crystal clear. This isn't just about professional athletes. Anybody grinding away in MMA, boxing, or martial arts year after year, hammering out kicks, punches, takedowns, throws, and submission techniques ends up with the same wrecked necks, hips, knees, backs, and shoulders. The pros just fall apart faster because the volume is higher, but the damage, it's universal. And here is the tragic irony. By the time men hit their 40s, street predators start sizing them up as victims. That's the moment they regret wasting time on combat sports and commercial martial arts. They wished they trained in something like contemporary fighting arts, a reality-based combat system built on real-world fighting skills that also preserves your body for the years when you need it the most. And for the intellectually challenged contrarians who love to challenge me and always end up falling flat on their face, let me make this really clear. Yes, I'm aware of exceptions, the rare fighter who managed to compete into his 40s, but that doesn't disprove the rule. It proves how rare it is. One or two names don't erase the reality. Most fighters peak in their 20s, and by their 30s, they're sidelined, declining, or retired. Exceptions make headlines precisely because they're not the norm. Then we have the tribalists who argue that if a retired MMA fighter, boxer, or martial artist gets into a street fight in his 50s or 60s, he'll just revert to his training. And I'm sure he will. But that's exactly the problem. His training was built for the ring or the dojo, not the street. Look, combat sports do not prepare you for the chaos of real violence when you're young. And they certainly won't save you when you're older and nursing the injuries they left behind. So if a fighter or martial artist already has holes in their style or system when he's young and at his peak, what do you think happens when he's older, injured, slower, and more vulnerable? You can't rely on muscle memory that was never built for the realities of violence in the first place. Here's where you need to make a decision. Are you training in combat sports or martial arts for self-defense, or is it just a hobby? If it's just a hobby, fine. I have no problem with that. But don't fool yourself into thinking it'll save your life now or in the future. It won't. But if you're serious about combat survival as you age, two things matter. Number 1, you must preserve your body. Don't wreck it with high-impact training. The endless kicking and punching, takedowns, hip throws, hard clinch work, and impact conditioning that destroys your neck, your knees, your hips, your shoulders, and your back over time. Now, how do I know this? I've heard it from hundreds of students who went down this very same road. They wrecked their bodies, then they came to me and all repeating the same words. I wish I had found you sooner. Number 2, you must study a credible RBSD system. Now that's not something you pick up at 55 and expect to master overnight. Just like MMA, boxing, or the martial arts, it takes years to build. But it's the only skill set that actually keeps you and your loved ones alive. Whether you're 25 or 65, the time to start is now. And for you gun fanatics who love to say, I'll just shoot them, you're an idiot. Go away. You don't even belong on this channel, and you're in no position to give anybody any advice. And for the record, I'm a firearms instructor who has carried them legally on the streets for years, published books on the subject, and has taught people for decades. So I know what the hell I'm talking about. Firearms have major limitations. You can't carry it everywhere. You can't take it on planes. You can't bring it into schools, federal buildings, stadiums, bars, or even many workplaces. You can't carry it internationally, and you sure as hell don't have it on you 24/7. Even when you do, it's a hassle, and in the vast majority of violent encounters, you're not legally justified to use it. Also, firearms won't help you against close-range edge weapon attacks. So if your whole plan is I'll just shoot them, you're not just lazy, you're stupid.
From the ancient Colosseum, where gladiators lived and died, to the storm-torn seas, where iron met flesh upon shattered decks, to the battlefield, where wrath carved kingdoms in blood, bone, and steel, we follow the War Machine. War Machine Chronicles celebrates the warrior archetype, the ethos society seeks to suppress, to soften, to erase. From the age of iron and blood, where warriors roared defiance in the face of death, to all men who still feel the war drum beat beneath their skin, written for fighters, soldiers, and survivors. For those who still walk the edge, it is transformation, forged to harden the mind, discipline the body, and sharpen the will. War Machine Chronicles, not just a book, it's a sacred codex of wrath. Over 300 pages, more than 100 haunting illustrations, combat verse, and lethal philosophy forged by Sammy Franco. War Machine Chronicles, not just a story, but a weapon. It teaches, it tests, it transforms. War Machine Chronicles, coming soon. Available in hardcover, paperback, and Kindle editions.
What I'm going to cover here are the laws of combat longevity. There are 10 in total, but in this video, I'm only going to share 3 of them, just enough to give you the framework. For those of you who want the complete doctrine, I've created a free PDF training guide titled 10 Laws of Combat Longevity, the blueprint for staying street lethal at any age. It breaks down all 10 laws step by step and shows you exactly how to apply them. Now, War Machine, Vanguard, and Elite members can download it for free in the members only section of this channel. And if you're not a member, this is your chance to step up and join the War Machine community. Don't sit on the sidelines with broken bodies and outdated training methods. Get the knowledge, skills, and attitude to prepare yourself now while you still can. Click the join button below to see all the membership options and perks that we have available. The first law of combat longevity is preserving your body. Once your body's broken, you've already lost, no matter how tough you think you are. I've seen guys in their 30s needing knee and hip replacements and shoulder surgeries because they train in either MMA and martial arts. What destroys you? Here are just a few examples. Constant hip throws and takedowns that slam you into the ground over and over again. Grappling drills that crank on your neck, shoulders, and spine. Full contact sparring conducted year after year. Martial art routines where you're firing off endless kicks and punches, snapping your knee and shoulder joint out thousands of times until the cartilage turns into gravel. And don't forget the antiquated hand conditioning methods used in kung fu and other arts. Pounding bricks, striking posts, they leave you with arthritis and permanent nerve damage. These practices might make you feel tough when you're young, but you're quietly sabotaging your ability to fight in the future. Your body is your vehicle for survival. If you trash it with bad training methods, you've crippled yourself before life ever tests you. Longevity isn't about reckless workouts when you're young. It's about training smart so your body is still a weapon when you're older and the predators start looking for you. Hey, we're about to get back into the video, but let me ask you something. Do you want to legitimately accelerate your self-defense skills? And are you sick of clickbait videos teaching absolute garbage? Or tired of being misled by unqualified wannabe experts who have zero credibility or experience? If the answer is yes, now is the time to join my War Machine memberships. As a member, you're going to get exclusive access to in-depth training videos, exclusive full-feature video content, downloadable training PDFs, and direct insights you're not going to find anywhere else. Plus, you're going to have direct access to me in the comments section of all my videos. So if you have questions, you're going to get real, detailed answers from me and not some random keyboard warrior. So if you're serious about mastering real-world combat skills, hit the join button below and start training like a true war machine. Now, let's get back to the lesson. The second law of combat longevity is strength training. That means weight training for your entire life, not just when you're young and chasing girls in the gym, but all the way through your 40s, 50s, 60s, and beyond. Muscle mass is survival armor. It protects your joints, cushions your bones, and gives you the raw power to fight back when your life depends on it. But strength alone isn't enough. It has to be backed by a clean lifestyle. That means eating for performance, not indulgence. It means getting your recovery, managing your sleep, and staying drug-free so your body doesn't betray you later. For older men, this may also include hormone replacement therapy to maintain muscle, energy, and resilience. And I discuss this in some of my videos exclusively for my War Machine members. I've been lifting weights my entire life, and I can tell you that weight training is one of the most valuable self-defense tools you'll ever use. You lift, you build, you maintain. That's the formula. Weak men are easy prey. Strong men project danger and strength. Build it, carry it, and maintain it like your life depends on it, because it does. My War Machine book dives into the psychology and the practical steps behind strength training for combat. It covers the workout routines, the nutrition, and the psychology that builds not just muscle, but the command presence, what I call aesthetic deterrence. Look hard, move hard, and a lot of fights never happen, especially if you're older. I'll put a link in the description down below if you guys want to check it out. Law number 3, train for reality, not spectacle. Reality-based self-defense emphasizes decision-making under stress, efficient, effective, and safe movements, and tactics built for survival. It's not glamorous, it's not about highlight reels, it's about functioning when the conditions are unpredictable, attackers are many, weapons are present, and the aftermath matters just as much as the actual encounter. Developing a true RBSD skill set takes years of disciplined training. This isn't something you pick up at a weekend seminar or by racking up thousands of sport rounds where rules protect you. You build it through serious training in a proven, reality-based system, not in the garbage heap of Krav Maga, Jeet Kune Do, or other martial arts. I've shown the difference on this channel with my contemporary fighting arts system, while also exposing why most so-called combat-ready martial arts are delusional fantasy. At the end of the day, you have to decide whether your training is to impress people and win medals or to survive real-world violence. Reality-based self-defense is not entertainment. It's preparation for the worst moments of your life. If you want to be ready when chaos comes, you need a system forged for the street, tested under pressure, and stripped of BS fantasy. That's what contemporary fighting arts delivers, and that's what law number 3 demands. If you're in your 20s or 70s, it doesn't matter. Street survival isn't about age, it's about preparing for the older you, the future version of yourself who's going to need these skills the most. If you're training wrong, you're going to be broken by the time you get there. But if you train right, you'll carry lethal skills with you for life. That's the choice you must make today. 10 laws of combat longevity give you the blueprint. The rest is on you. Subscribe today, grab the PDF, and remember, combat survival isn't about the moment. It's about what you've built to last a lifetime. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys at the next video.